welcome to my channel. Well, I thought I'd cover a few extra little things that Toby sent to me, and also some knife mods that I've been doing. Knife modifications. Not much. Not much. Let me put them on their Bowie knives, so I gotta set them over there. They're heavy, and they're in a sheath so I can wash my toes. Alright, so remember when I did this guy? Well, I made the bolsters, you know, both matching, kind of matching. They're both squeezed in like that now. So that's one thing I did. And to polish this up, you know, I used some hand files and stuff and ground this down, and I was using a Dremel in it. A Dremel will run over sometimes. So I switched over to just using hand files, but I used this kind of buffing thing on the end here to really start polishing it up a little bit, getting it restored. All right, so that took a little while. That's just a little tinkering around kind of thing, because this side had a big thing on it and the other side just had a little slant, and it just, yeah, it didn't quite match up. So, and I'm not upset about the big R, you know, the slant arm, now that they're getting rid of it. I just didn't want them to keep on going for decades and decades, you know, like, oh, everybody likes it. No, we don't. Not everybody likes it. Anyway, we got over that. And then these are some of these, like, you know, for knife handles. They call them like Chicago screws. The brass, you know, one side threaded and other one captive. And then these are a little bit bigger ones. And then, of course, Hoppy's number 9. This is, I wonder if it's still, I wonder if it smells the same. I don't smell anything. It must have a little seal in here, no? No, they actually got rid of, I don't know what they did, but man, it doesn't smell like the Hoppies that I used to know. It says traditional. Huh. I think they changed it, man. I think they changed it on us, because I remember it being much more pungent smell. It was distinctive. Yeah, anyway. And then some 100% synthetic lubricant. It's got one of these applicators too. I like these. I use this one, this zero friction. I use this on a Boker Auto. Zero friction applicator point. What does that say down there? Since 1982, Pro Shot Products. Made in the USA. So yeah, that was that. And then as far as this, we're not going to have room. I know things are going to get knocked over. This is the way it goes. I added a rivet here on the sheath, and this one looks kind of funky, but I just smashed it down with pliers just to make sure it was secure. So I added 2 more rivets to the sheath to help that. Now I'm not as panicking as much. And then on this guy, I smoothed everything down all through here. And these rivets, I took a little file and I just sanded them down, you know, so they weren't sticking up. I had this one out there. I had linseed oil. I put linseed oil on the handle. I had it, and I had done the same thing with the Sesco. You know, somebody, they keep saying it's pronounced Cisco. Well, I'm saying Sesco, and if you don't like it, tough. Sometimes I'll say Bowie. Sometimes I'll say Bowie. Tough. Live with it. You're going to have to get over it. You're going to have to learn that not everybody's going to comply with your little demands and requests. Pronounce it this way. I'll pronounce it the way I want to pronounce it. Oh, it's getting violent here. I almost punctured that. Ooh, did a little stab on it. It's not leaking through. Watch out, Terry. He's getting carried away. Don't. Yeah, it's low Rockwell hardness, but that doesn't mean it's a bad knife. Now, the guy that challenged me on the Rockwell hardness on the Sezco or the Outlaw Bowie or whatever, he was also making comments, and other people were talking. He's got a vested interest in he loves his knife. I mean, it's understandable, but he's taking it like personal. If anybody says anything, like the other one person said, yeah, you know, that Outlaw Bowie's is just it's a nice knife, but it's impractical. You know, it's more like a wall hanger. It probably, you know, wouldn't do much if you go to use it. And then other people correct him. No, I beat the crap out of it. I split logs and everything else. So yeah, some people really get into their knives and take it personal if you say anything even slightly. Like on the Rockwell hardness, yeah, I'll grant it that I'm not an expert on this, but, you know, comparing it to all the other knives that I had, why would it scratch at 40 and 45 on that knife and it wouldn't on the others? I'm not pushing down real hard on it. I'm not trying to make it fail. You know, I like the knife. I don't care what the Rockwell hardness is. You know what I care about? Does a blade chip? You know, a chip, especially on a hollow ground, is much worse than a roll. I'd rather have the blade roll than chip. If it does that all right, rarely am I going to be doing a lot of chopping, but when you got a big blade, you'd probably be tempted to do chopping. But it's going to cut flesh. I mean, it's going to cut, you know, it's going to carve a bark. It's going to do whatever you need it to do. I'm more concerned, will the blade break itself? Will it crack in half? Usually it's because you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing a blade with. You know, you've turned this into a crowbar. Oh, let's see, I need to pry this up. Well then, yeah, I mean, it's a $20 knife, man. You can't go crazy on expectations on $20 knives. But out of all of them, I think overall, this is my favorite one for various reasons. It's not just because the heat treatment is good on it. I didn't have to do anything to this knife. I mean, I didn't have to sand anything down. I didn't have to, you know, add anything to it. And it comes, I haven't even had to sharpen it yet, you know? I mean, so as far as budget knives go, this one for me is the best. It just feels the best. It just looks the best. It's kind of hard to pick, though, favorites, you know, with me on knives, because that's why it's good to have more than one, because I just like the looks of this guy. And I sharpen it up. It's pretty damn sharp right now. And because it's got a convex edge on it, it can take abuse a little bit more. It can take more chopping without, you know, a convex edge is stronger. Yeah, it won't be as slicey, but it's kind of a better overall. I mean, it'll still cut. It's just that you meet with a laid back edge, it starts meeting its resistance, its widest resistance, you know, at the end right there. You're doing the same thing here, but you're beveling it. So you've got a curved edge instead of kind of a flat edge. I don't know, anyway. Everybody knows just watching this what a convex and a flat edge is. All right, so let me put this up. So that's really all I had to say. You know, it's just late at night, and I don't want to fire up any machines and stuff, make a lot of noise, even though everybody makes noise. I'm trying to be considerate to people that sleep during the night, unlike me. And, yeah, that's about all I've got there. There's this guy up close. It's not completely finished polishing yet. There's some scratches in there, but it feels good. It feels pretty good in hand. And I'm testing out a Streamlight that he sent to me. I'm comparing it against here this one is. When with these, the micro streamlight, if it's a brown one, the first push is going to be the brightest, and the second one is going to be the lower. If you get a black one, it's going to be the opposite. Your first push is going to be low. But this guy is rechargeable. You just pull this up. This also acts kind of like a little focusing thing, too. See, you can go spot and beam, spot and beam. He's freaking out right now. Don't freak out right now. You're being in there. But I'm testing that. And what's good about that is just, it's a replaceable battery. Oops. That's the cap. I did that the last time. For some reason, they give you a screw off on this cap up here. But if you turn the body, it'll take a AAA in there, it looks like. Even though it's a... I don't know if it'll take a AAA. Haven't tried that yet. Like I said, this is not a total evaluation. I'm just checking this thing out right now. I'm comparing it against the Olight i3 EOS, which is not rechargeable, but you can put a rechargeable battery in there, and it does take a AAA. And it has two modes. Starts off with a low and then a high. The difference I notice on this one is you've got the same momentary switch lightness, but you really have to push deeply to engage it to turn on and to stay on. This one, you have to push it. It's more positive, but you're not mashing down into a little point. You know what I mean? It goes down like that. Whereas this one, you have to, Anyway. Pretty cool lights. That one looks kind of yellowish in there, doesn't it? There we go, we're seeing the yellow. So, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.